Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to GoGreenKnights.com coverage of Notre Dame baseball. CIAC Class L Tournament second round game. We are here at Ed Zajac Field on the campus of Maloney High School in Meriden, Connecticut for today's second round game. The host, Maloney Spartans, hosting our Notre Dame Green Knights. Maloney is the number 6 seed. They are 15-7 on the year. They defeated New Fairfield in the first round of the tournament. Back on Tuesday, they defeated New Fairfield 6-1. The Green Knights spent better part of 2 days beating Platt Tech. Did so yesterday afternoon, 9-1, getting 8 runs off a suspended 1-1 game from Tuesday. So the Green Knights added for the third day in a row. Winner will face Fitch on Saturday at 2 p.m. Fitch is the number 3 seed. They defeated Watertown 7-3, and they defeated Ram yesterday 3-1. So the winner of today's game will go to the quarterfinal round on Saturday. Maloney, 13-7 in the regular season. They are the home team today, seeded 6th. Green Knights will be on the road. The difference in baseball there is Maloney will have the last licks of every inning. Notre Dame had that fortune yesterday, being the higher seed. And we are getting ready to go on, getting ready for the first pitch here. We'll set the lineups for you. We'll set the defensive positioning. Mike Lano has gotten us on the air and on time. Freshman Dylan Reynolds is helping us with the camera. We are obviously on the road. We don't have the greatest conditions here. No press box. We are out in the beautiful 90-degree weather here in Meriden. So we apologize for you looking through the fence, but we could not come up with a better setup for today. And we figured bad video was better than no video. First pitch underway, called strike on the outside corner. That's Maloney pitcher Dallas DeFrancesco. He's pitching to Mike Galino. Left to right is A.J. Hendrickson, Hector Gonzalez, Kyle Hartenstein, and Dan Berger in the infield. Left to right in the outfield is Mike Bonino, John Wader, and Lucas Olson. Notre Dame's leadoff batter is Drew Archiolo, and he is quickly down 0-2 as DeFrancesco paints the corner, comes back with a curveball, and that's laced to the right center field gap. That gets down, and Archiolo speeding around 1. He's trying to get to 2. He is going to get there standing up. And an 0-2 double, taking it the other way on an off-speed pitch, gets Notre Dame with a run in scoring position early here in the top of the first. Notre Dame's lineup, Drew Archiolo, who led off with the double. Griffin Garabedian is in center and batting second. Greg Zuo, third baseman, batting third. Mike Corso, the left fielder, is batting fourth. Brandon Wynn playing first base, batting fifth. Mike Levine is DHing for starting pitcher Troy Terzi in the 6th spot. Zach Ardito, Zach Balaban, and Wes Paulson round out spots 7, 8, and 9 for the Green Knights. Garabedian, first pitch swinging, is going to drop one in between the left fielder and center fielder. Archiolo is going to be held at third. Garabedian takes a big, strong turn at first, but first pitch swinging, drops one in front of Bonino and Wader. And just like that, 4 pitches into this game, the Green Knights have runners on first and third. And number 3 hitter, senior co-captain, along with Garabedian, who just got a single, Greg Zulo, will come to the plate. Garabedian on first, Archiolo on third. DeFrancesco delivers, first pitch swinging, ground ball to second. This is going to be a double play, but get a run home. Probably not what the Green Knights wanted, but when you get a lead on the road early in the game, you'll take it. The twin killing does bring home Archiolo with the game's first run, but it clears the bases for cleanup hitter number 27, Mike Corso. 4-6-3 double play if you're scoring at home. Notre Dame does grab a 1-0 lead. First pitch swinging is Corso, and he will ground out to the third baseman. Hendrickson fires over to Berger. And just like that, Notre Dame gets a run, gets 2 hits. And I'll tell you what, DeFrancesco might have thrown 7 pitches in the whole inning. But he got 3 outs, but he did give up a run. So we go to the bottom of the first. Notre Dame takes a 1-0 lead. With today's setup, we could not have our trusty TriCaster, so we don't have any of our GoGreenKnights.com commercials to tell you. So you're going to be stuck with my voice all afternoon. Again, Steve Kirk, glad to bring you today's second round CIAC Class L baseball game to you. Again, along with Mike Lano and Dylan Reynolds. But one of our proud sponsors is the Business Network Group, established in 2002 by Jeff Grandy. They are a network integration solution company. They offer sales, service, support, consulting, installation for local and wide area network technologies. They're a proud sponsor of GoGreenKnights.com. You can get in touch with them. That's Jeff Grandy, class of 90, at 888-475-4383 for any of your computer network needs. And the best way to get a hold of them is visit them online at thebusinessnetworkgroup.com. We thank Jeff Grandy and the Business Network Group for their sponsorship of GoGreenKnights.com. Between each inning, we'll touch upon all our sponsors who make GoGreenKnights.com happen. Wouldn't happen without their support. Of course, we're talking about Caparuso Orthodontics, Curtis Ryan Honda, Decorative and Traditional Painting by Don Martone, Federico Insetti, Ivy League Landscaping, Longini Sausage, the New Haven Foot Surgeons, and Zingaro and Cretella Law Firm. We brought you Notre Dame baseball the past 2 days. Notre Dame's 9-1 win over 2 days. We will also have the graduation weekend. Bittersweet, yet happy at the same time. Webcast as the class of 2013 will bid Notre Dame a fond farewell. Graduation liturgy will be Saturday, 6 p.m. at St. Rita's Church. And, of course, the commencement exercises Sunday morning from Alumni Hall, aptly named this past year, on Sunday morning, June 2nd, starting just before 10 a.m. Eastern Time. We'll set the lineup here for Notre Dame. Troy Tersey, the senior, gets the ball on the mound. He'll be pitching to Zach Balaban, left to right in the infield from third to first. Greg Zullo, Zach Ardito, Wes Paulson, and Brandon Wynn. Left to right in the outfield, Mike Corso, Griffin Garabedian, and Drew Archiolo, who played in Notre Dame's first run on Zullo's double play. Notre Dame takes a 1-0 lead. Playoff baseball, game gets old quick. Playing from in front is advantageous, and the Green Knights, they had a threat going, and they did get that run across. So they do grab that 1-0 lead. And if you're used to the golden pipes of Don Boyle, the voice of GoGreenKnights.com, I'm sure he's relaxing poolside or on a golf course down south for his son's wedding. We certainly congratulate his son, congratulate Don. Enjoying your week off. Enjoy the festivities this weekend, and hopefully he'll have a Notre Dame baseball game to bring you next Tuesday. Green Knights going to have to take care of business today here against Maloney, and then another win on Saturday. But let's take care of business first today. Tersey's first pitch is a 58-foot fastball. That's Hector Gonzalez. He is Maloney's shortstop. He'll be followed by Kyle Hartenstein, Dallas DeFrancesco, and Mike Galino. Top 4 batters in the Maloney lineup. Pretty potent Maloney lineup out of the CCC. Ball high, 2-0. Pretty good fastball pop by Tersey there. Tersey does have a 3/4 sleeve shirt on. Of course, if you are local and here in Connecticut, you know it's about a 91-degree day. Tersey dials it on the outside corner there for a strike to move the count to 2 balls and 1 strike. Despite it being a warm, it's a glorious day for baseball here at Ed Zajac Field on the campus of Maloney High School. Tersey, ground ball. Ardito charges it, fields it up, throws over to Wynn, hangs on to the base, and he is retired 6-3. So Tersey gets the first out of the inning, courtesy of a ground ball to freshman Zach Ardito. Stepping in for Maloney, left-handed batter, their second baseman, started that double play in the top of the first, Kyle Hartenstein. Good crowd here at Maloney, sprinkled upon the hill behind us. A few fans to the right and the left. Tersey delivers high, 1-0. Maloney coached by Howard Hewitt. He's also their athletic director, also their basketball coach. Actually refereed some of his state tournament games. Always puts out good teams in both sports. Hartenstein offers up at that one, fouls it back to even the count at 1-1. Trying to see some numbers down the lines, but I don't see what the fences are, but we do have an enclosed outfield, tree-lined. If you could see it through the steel picket fence we have in front of our only camera location today. Tersey pulls a string on that one. Hartenstein just watched that float through the zone and called second strike, so Terzi ahead 1-2. If you're just joining us, Steve Kirk alongside for today's CIAC Class L second round game. Notre Dame and Maloney, Green Knights with a run in the top of the first. Terzi paints the outside corner. Hartenstein just able to foul that one off. Over the third base dugout, hits one of the trees that provides some shade where most of the fans on the left side are sitting. Nice embankment hill to the left. We got people behind us. 1-2 pitch. Terzi dials it up. Goes back to the curveball. Couldn't pull the string on that one. A little high. Hartenstein lays off. The count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Terzi looks in. Gets the signal from Balabon. Goes to the delivery. Again, fouls it off. Back into the parking lot. Just misses the far right side of Maloney High School up there. Count's going to remain 2-2. Terzi gets the signal, goes to the delivery, delivers, fastball swung through by Hartenstein. Second out of the inning. Terzi dialed it up right there. A little extra pop on that one. Hartenstein swings through it for the second out of the inning. Starting pitcher Dallas DeFrancesco got 3 outs, obviously. Gave up a run, but I'm telling you, he didn't throw more than 8 pitches in that top of the first. He steps in as their number 3 hitter. Terzi paints the outside corner. DeFrancesco takes a look at that. Terzi working ahead in the count. I think he's been ahead of all 3 batters. Actually fell behind Gonzalez, but then got him to ground out to Ardito. Got ahead of Hartenstein with the off-speed stuff. Started a fastball there to DeFrancesco. Hard hit ball, but that's right at Notre Dame second baseman Wes Paulson. He gobbles it up, throws it over to win. 3 up, 3 down for the Green Knights. Maloney, no runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on. We are 1 inning complete here at Maloney High School. Notre Dame 1, Maloney nothing. Gives us a chance to mention another one of our fine GoGreenKnights.com sponsors, Caparuso Orthodontics. If you're considering orthodontic treatment for you or your children, Dr. Philip Caparuso, a Notre Dame parent of 4, conveniently located at the end of the Milford Green. Dr. Caparuso is a board-certified orthodontist. He's a preferred Invisalign provider. And he's a proud GoGreenKnights.com sponsor. You can visit him online at drcaportho.com, or you can call him at 203-874-5400. If you go to him, he promises to bring out your best smile. Caparuso Orthodontics, drcaportho.com. Again, a busy week on GoGreenKnights.com. Baseball is the 3rd straight day of baseball here on GoGreenKnights.com. Hope to bring you another one on Saturday, but the business at hand for the Green Knights is Maloney. It's survive and advance time. Notre Dame does it at the end of every sports season, whether it's football or soccer in the fall, whether it's basketball or hockey in the winter, baseball and lacrosse in the spring. The one-and-done nature of the CIAC tournament gives you thrills, gives you heartache. We'll see what Notre Dame has at the end of today. Lacrosse team, unfortunately, had its season come to an end, and the seniors' careers finished yesterday in an 8-4 loss at East Lyme. Great season for Coach Bajoris and crew. Did finish 9-8. Again, lacrosse still in its infancies as a Notre Dame athletic program. Stepping in is Mike Corso. Corso led off the last inning. Actually, this is Mike Levine. Falls behind 0-2, but takes a fastball inside there. Levine, a designated hitter for starting pitcher Terzi. Levine bounces it back to Terzi's counterpart, DeFrancesco, easily 1-3 put out. First out here in the second. Brandon Wynn will step to the plate, Notre Dame's senior first baseman. Was a number 4 hitter yesterday. Actually put down a sacrifice bunt. Led to 2 Notre Dame runs to increase the lead from 2-1 to 4-1. First pitch swinging. Must be a theme for the Green Knights. Gonzalez bobbles it a little bit. Then his throw pulls Berger off the line, and Wynn hustling down the line is going to reach. I'm going to go E6 on that one just because of the bobble and slightly throw to the left of first baseman Berger. Brings up freshman Zach Ardito. Moved into the starting lineup on a Friday night against Xavier. Under the lights, has done well. Takes a fastball in the outside corner there. Some of the Green Knights have been going up first pitch swinging. Might have been a little scouting report tip that Coach Kessler and the crew had. Donnie Martone, Sean Griffin, Mark Heidick, the other coaches for the Green Knights. DeFrancesco goes to the curveball but can't pull the string. Ardito lets that go by high, even to count at 1-1. Can't forget about Ron Acabo, member of the 2000 Notre Dame baseball team. Helps out with the JV squad. Notre Dame in good hands with that coaching staff. Wynn takes the lead off first. DeFrancesco comes back with the curveball, tries to paint the outside corner, but it falls just outside. Ardito now ahead in the count 2-1. Top of the second, 1-0 Notre Dame. First swings at that fastball. Lands it in the tennis courts to our backside. DeFrancesco working from the stretch. Wynn short lead at first. Ardito looks at a pitch on the outside corner. Called strike 3, second out of the inning. DeFrancesco painted the black on that one. And that'll bring up Notre Dame catcher Zach Balaban. DeFrancesco deals. Low and outside for a ball. Notre Dame's number 9 hitter will be senior Wes Paulson, manning second base today. Then the lineup will turn back over to Drew Archiolo, who scored Notre Dame's lone run. Double to lead off the first. Scored on a double play off the bat of Greg Zullo. Balaban looks at a strike on the outside corner there to even the count at 1-1. DeFrancesco delivers, curveball. Balaban wasn't expecting that one. Looked that go right across the middle of the plate. So DeFrancesco ahead, 1-2. Mike Lano said that pitch was high. Fortunately, the man in light blue is the only one that counts, Mr. Lano. Goes back to it, swings ahead of it, tapper down the third base line. Charged by Hendrickson, fires over to Berger for the third out of the inning. So Notre Dame, no hits, no errors, no runs, one left on, courtesy of the error by Gonzalez, but turns out to be harmless. Maloney will come up to the bat in the bottom of the second, but the Green Knights do lead 1-0. Again, we've got a skeleton setup today. Is that an accurate description of it, Mr. Lano? We've got a camera in front of us. So we have Mr. Lano in the second row. We've got myself in the third row. So we don't have our normal multi-camera setup. We got a fence in front of you, so we apologize for that. But we figured bad video was better than no video. Mr. Boyle's probably sitting home right now disagreeing with that, but we did the best we could, but we also don't have our sponsors, so I'm glad to tell you right now that GoGreenKnights.com is brought to you in part by Decorative and Traditional Painting, owned and operated by Notre Dame's own Donald Martone. Recently celebrated 23 years as a painting contractor. He transforms houses into world-class homes, employing only the most professional painters under a structured management led by Martone himself. They are interior and exterior house painting experts, serving all of New Haven County. If you're looking to get your house painted inside or out, certainly get in touch with Coach Martone. You can visit them online at paintingbydkm.com. That's paintingbydkm.com. Head to the bottom of the second. Going to be their catcher, Mike Galino, followed by first baseman Dan Berger, and then third baseman A.J. Hendrickson. Followed by the outfield, John Wader in center, Mike Benito in left, and Lucas Olson in right. Troy Tersey gets ready to deliver the first pitch in the bottom of the second. High. Tersey from the windup. Delivers. That ball's also up. 2-0. I think Zach Balaban, Notre Dame's catcher, wanted that one. Can't say I blame him. Looked to be right at the numbers, but again, the man in blue is the one that counts. 2-0 pitch by Tersey. That one's definitely high. 3-0. Imagine Mike Galino, Maloney's cleanup hitter, will be taking a pitch here. Tersey deals. Ball 4. 4 fastballs all high. Just like that. Maloney gets their first base runner, courtesy of a leadoff walk by Mike Galino. That'll bring up first baseman number 24, Dan Berger. Looking down at Coach Howard Hewitt and his signals. Balaban putting the bunt defense on. State tournament play is a little bit different than just your regular season action. Certainly might see Berger turn here and try to get Galino down to first, and Tersey thinking the same thing. Makes a cursory throw over to first to see if Berger will give any sort of bunt away. He did not. Tersey from the stretch. Takes one little peek over at Galino. Slide step, delivers home. This time Berger does square. Zulo charged. Pulled the bat back, but he looked at a strike. Howard Hewitt giving some more signals. Berger back in the box. Tersey looks over to first. Galino back without a slide or a dive, without even getting dirty. Coaches will tell you can get another step in that scenario. Tersey deals the 0-1 pitch. Ground ball to first. Wynn takes it. Throws to Ardito. Back to covering at first. Tersey did not get there, but that was a well-played backhand short hop by Wynn. Got the lead runner. Galino at second. Ardito's throw back to Tersey was not in time as Hendrickson beat that out. But Wynn with a fine defensive play there. So Galino out 3-6. Berger will replace him at first base, courtesy of the fielder's choice, and stepping into the plate will be number 3, third baseman A.J. Hendrickson. First pitch outside. Balaban takes a look down Wynn's way as Berger had himself a pretty good secondary lead. Balaban decided not to make a throw. Tersey takes a look over at Hendrickson. Fires a strike into Balaban, evens count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Bottom of the second, Steve Kirk, Mike Lano, Dylan Reynolds, bringing you today's Notre Dame GoGreenKnights.com playoff action. Green Knights lead 1-0. Tersey's delivery there is outside. Count moves to 2-1. Tersey delivers. This time ground ball to Paulson. Can they turn 2? This is Ardito first to second and gets the out there. But Hendrickson beats that one out. That was a little too slow to turn 2. So another fielder's choice, but another put out at second. This time 4-6, erasing Berger. Hendrickson will replace him at first, but there are now 2 outs for Maloney's number 7 batter, center fielder John Walter. Junior, right-hander, and Tersey picks off Hendrickson without throwing a pitch to Walter. He gets out of the inning. So a walk and a couple fielder's choices and then a pickoff is going to eliminate that inning for Maloney. We are 2 innings complete here in Meriden. Notre Dame 1, Maloney 0. Again, we're without our commercials today, so I'm basically going to talk for about 2 straight hours. Kind of wish I had a water bottle with me. Should have thought ahead, but I didn't. We'll mention now that one of our other sponsors is Federico and Seti. They're a full-service accountant specialist. Whether it's corporate accounting or personal tax preparation, Federico and Seti, certainly experts you can trust. They're led by Notre Dame graduates Michael and Mark Federico, Michael class of 82, Mark of class of 72, as well as Lynn Seti, Sacred Heart Academy class of 82. Certainly have many Notre Dame alumni as clients, and that includes yours truly. They're a proud GoGreenKnights.com sponsor. You can contact Federico and Seti at 248-9966. That's 203-248-9966, or email Michael at FedericoSetiCPA.com. And when I tell you, I set an appointment for the Tuesday of February vacation every year. I spend an hour with Mike Federico. We talk Notre Dame for half an hour. He punches numbers into a computer. At the end of the half hour, 45 minutes, he tells me what I'm getting back. I sign a couple of documents. My wife signs a couple of documents. 3 weeks later, we get a refund. It is absolutely the most profitable 45 minutes of my calendar year. Couldn't recommend them anymore. Federico and Seti, a proud GoGreenKnights.com sponsor, 248-9966, or email Michael Federico at FedericoSetiCPA.com. We head to the top of the third. Wes Paulson, Notre Dame's number 9 batter, looks to put down a bunt, gets the defense moving. Curveball by DeFrancesco. Paulson lays off, evens the count at 1-1. Top of the third inning here, Ed Zajac Field, Maloney High School, second round Class L tournament. Paulson with a single, that's going to find his way up the middle. Nice diving play by the second baseman Hartenstein, but he had no throw as Paulson was scurrying down the line. And that's a clean single for Paulson. Notre Dame will turn the lineup over. Drew Archiolo fell behind 0-2, but then laced a double to right center. Scored Notre Dame's lone run on a 4-6-3 double play by Greg Zullo. DeFrancesco looks in, and first pitch bunting is Archiolo. Lou Kessler going to the small ball, trying to get Paulson to second, and you know what? With Garabedian and Zullo and Corso due up, I certainly applaud that baseball strategy. See if Archiolo goes back to the bunt as the count is 0-1. DeFrancesco looks over, makes a throw. Paulson back easy. Archiolo squares the bunt, gets it down the first base line. Perfectly done. Berger fields it. Pitches it to a covering Hartenstein at first, but that's a sac bunt. And it moves Paulson to second. That's 3-4 if you're scoring along at home. Paulson moves to second. And Garabedian was first pitch swinging first time up. Dropped one right in between Mike Benito and John Wader out in left center field. Garabedian head into UConn. Probably, arguably only his 3rd game playing for Notre Dame this year. Got hurt in the last preseason game, tried to come back against Fairfield Prep in the middle of the season. Could not. Laces one down the first base line, but just foul. If that had tucked itself a couple of inches inside, that would have been a RBI double. But every game is a game of inches, and instead, Garabedian will step back into the box to face a 1-1 pitch from DeFrancesco. And Garabedian tried to come back against Fairfield Prep, couldn't, and really didn't make another appearance until a couple pinch running appearances late in the regular season. Swailing at that one, failing at that one is Garabedian. Falls behind 1-2. DeFrancesco with a nice off-speed pitch there. Garabedian out in front of it. Galino tried to get Paulson at second, but Paulson back in safely. So DeFrancesco ahead 1-2. Goes back to it. Foul tip caught by Galino. So a key out there is a strikeout of Garabedian, and that will bring up Notre Dame co-captain Greg Zullo. Baseball's about 2 out base hits, and Notre Dame would love no one better up right now than their senior co-captain, try to get Paulson home from second. First pitch swinging, flies it to right field. Camping underneath it is Olson. And the leadoff single will be stranded at second as Zullo flies out to Olson to end the top of the third. When we come back, Maloney will be batting in the bottom of the third. Notre Dame 1, Maloney nothing. Keep it tuned right here for the rest of the game on GoGreenKnights.com. Welcome back to GoGreenKnights.com. Just give you a chance to mention here, one of our other GoGreenKnights.com sponsors is Ivy League Landscaping. You have crabgrass? Yes, I do. Do you have lawn issues last summer or fall? Yes, I do. Do you want to have a repeat performance this summer? No, I do not. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to call Ivy League Landscaping. They can help you, and they can help you now. Ivy League also specializes in stonework, masonry, water management issues. Contact Justin Grandy, Notre Dame class of 91. They're just a call away, or you can visit them online at ivyleaguelandscaping.com. Again, GoGreenKnights.com does not happen without all of our sponsors. Business Network Group, Caparuso Orthodontics, Curtis Ryan Honda, Decorative and Traditional Painting, Federico Insetti, Ivy League Landscaping. We're going to get to these coming up, but it's Longini Sausage, New Haven Foot Surgeons, and Zingaro and Cretella. Again, GoGreenKnights.com will bring you graduation weekend. The baccalaureate liturgy, Saturday night, June 1st, from St. Rita's Church, starting at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. And then just a few short hours after that, class of 2013, we'll say a fond farewell to Notre Dame High School officially with the 64th commencement exercises for the class of 2013. Sunday morning, June 2nd, 10 a.m. Eastern Time, breakfast with GoGreenKnights.com. Here in the bottom of the third, Maloney will have their number 7, 8, 9 batters up. Ironically, they hold those positions in the outfield. Center fielder John Wader, left fielder Mike Benito, Lucas Olson, and Benito, Walter, first pitch swinging to hopper to shortstop Zach Ardito. And just like that, one pitch, Troy Tersey has himself an out here in the bottom of the third. Wind is blowing a little right to left as I look out at the scoreboard on Ed Zajac Field. Another Notre Dame assistant coach, Mike Hines, another great player. Giving me a little pat on the backside coming from work and joining the coaching staff here. One of the beautiful things about Notre Dame is a lot of the former athletes come back to coach. They come back to help out. Some of them are just volunteers. Some of them are paid. They got that green and gold blood, doesn't leave them. They want to come back to help, and there's so many alumni that do that in so many different ways, and it's what makes Notre Dame High School so special. But the wind is blowing a little bit right to left as I look at the scoreboard at Ed Zajac Field. Looks like it's 4 o'clock on the dot. Notre Dame 1, Maloney nothing. Mike Benito in. First 2 pitches were balls. Tersey dials up a strike at the knees there. Benito is tall. He looks got to be 6'2", 6'3", if not taller. Tough to get that pitch at the knees, and Tersey gets a strike on that one. Benito swings at that one, pulls it down the left field line, third base line, between Zullo and head coach Howard Hewitt for Maloney. Foul ball. So the count is now 2-2. Again, Notre Dame's Troy Tersey on the mound. He's pitched well all year. Notre Dame's ace, Greg Zullo, got hurt early. It was Tersey, Johnny Amendola, Parker Barnell, And Anthony Ravazio, who carried the Green Knights through the majority of the season. And Terzi right there paints the inside corner, gets Benito looking. Couldn't do anything with that one. And quickly, 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. That'll send up number 9 hitter and right fielder Lucas Olson. See a few more Notre Dame students over here in the bleachers to my right now as Terzi's first pitch to Olson is low and outside, ball 1. Looking back, you see even more fans here now, adorning the hill behind us, and the shaded trees behind the Maloney bench. Even some hardy souls behind the Notre Dame bench. As Terzi paints the outside corner, evens that. Count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Glorious afternoon for baseball here in Meriden, just up Route I-91, exit 16. Terzi deals high, in case you're listening to your iPhone or your iPad. Notice I said listening to your iPhone or iPad on the way home. If you happen to be in the area, quick jaunt off exit 16. Go about 2 lights, take a right, and find yourself in Maloney High School. Nice piece of hitting there as Olson fists a 1-1 pitch up the middle. Ardito made a dive, couldn't get to it. He wouldn't have gotten Olson anyway. So 2-out single by Olson. We'll turn the lineup over and give Hector Gonzalez, Maloney's junior shortstop, right-hander. Give him a second look at Terzi here in the bottom of the third. Notre Dame 1, Maloney nothing. Dylan Reynolds, man in the camera. Mike Lano sitting next to me with the equipment we need. Again, we apologize for the, we'll say not so great video you're looking through. Just couldn't get a good setup here today with the fencing and where we had to plug in the power sources and no press box. Olson's going to try to steal second. Throw is just to the left of second base, and Paulson couldn't squeeze the low throw. And Olson will get into second base on the stolen base, get himself into scoring position. First runner to touch second base for Maloney today. Just heard Notre Dame Luke Kessler mention into the Notre Dame infield. Time to give him a dive. You don't necessarily have to make a play, but if there's a tweener, you want to knock it down, possibly prevent Olson from scoring. Gonzalez was retired 6-3, ground out to the shortstop Ardito, his first at-bat. He is in an 0-1 hole. Gonzalez calls time as Balaban and Terzi couldn't get on the same page in terms of what throw they wanted, what pitch they wanted to throw. Terzi delivers off-speed pitch. Curveball. Don't think it actually curved. Floated high. Evens the count at 1-1. Terzi delivers. Fastball. That's coming up right to us. It is going to be in play. Balaban against the fence is able to corral it and make the catch. Flipped the mask off, threw it away, turned around. Perfect job, and as a former catcher, I applaud that play. Came up against the fence, saw where he was, saw where the ball was, and made a nice play, and retires Gonzalez on the P2 for the third out of the inning, stranding the tying run Olson at second. We are 3 innings complete here at Ed Zajac Field in the Class L State Tournament second round action. Notre Dame 1, Maloney nothing. Stay with us. We'll be back with the 4th inning right here on GoGreenKnights.com. Welcome back to GoGreenKnights.com coverage of Notre Dame baseball. Notre Dame 1, Maloney nothing. Longini Sausage came on board as a proud GoGreenKnights.com sponsor this year. They're a family-owned business for almost 60 years. Quality products include Italian link sausage, Italian sausage patties, porchetta, bulk sausage, and their new Italian chicken sausage. Ooh, does that sound good? You can find Longini in many of the area's finest restaurants, delis, pizza houses, and local supermarkets. You can certainly visit them online at longinisausage.com. Next to Mr. Longini. Son is a sophomore, doing great things for the Green Knights in a lot of different areas. Notre Dame comes up here in the top of the fourth, and they're going to have left fielder Mike Corso, designated hitter Mike Levine, first baseman Brandon Wynn, batters 4, 5, and 6. Corso drills one to left field, not going to be able to be caught. It is down, and Corso's going to round first and get to second base standing up. Good swing on a fastball there. He turned on it. There is very little shade on this field, but the only shade is courtesy of a tree down the left field line, and that ball landed in the shade. Mike Benito could not get to it, and Corso leads off the Notre Dame fourth with a double. That'll bring up Mike Levine, designated hitter. He's hitting for Notre Dame pitcher Troy Terzi. He turns the bunt, takes a ball low. Let me tell you something. Maloney first baseman Dan Berger, not only was he charging, he was no more than 15 feet away. So Levine's going to want to get this bunt down the first base line. Instead, he pops it up to short right field. That's not going to be able to advance Corso. So Levine tried to get a bunt down, couldn't, and then flies out to the right fielder Olson for the first out of the inning. That'll bring up Brandon Wynn. Off speed pitch outside, 1-0. Goes back to the off-speed pitch. Nice job by Mike Lino behind the plate, but the ball is outside, so the count goes to 2-0. Again, Maloney's defense is A.J. Hendrickson at third base, Hector Gonzalez at short, Kyle Hartenstein at second, Dan Berger at first. DeFrancesco on the mound. Mike Galino catches a strike on the outside corner from DeFrancesco. Left to right is Mike Benino, John Wader, and Lucas Olson for Maloney. Again, Maloney is the 6th seed. They're 15-7. They defeated New Fairfield in the first round of the tournament on Tuesday. Goes back to an off-speed pitch. Wynn lays off. Falls off the table inside and low, so the count is now 3-1. Hitters pitch for Wynn. As I mentioned yesterday, one pitch, one swing here. Off-speed pitch. Does not paint the corner, and Wynn, who reached on an error in the first, he will walk here in the fourth. Reached on an error in the second. So Notre Dame now has Wynn on first and Corso on second. That brings up the freshman Ardito. Basically had the game-winning hit yesterday. Line drive, first pitch swinging, slow roller, goes to second and gets a hustling win by the scantest of margins, does Gonzalez. So Ardito's going to reach on a fielder's choice. Wynn is going to be erased on a 6-4 close play. Corso's going to move over to third. So the Green Knights out of that. Slow roller by Ardito are going to wind up with first and third. For their catcher and number 8 hitter, Zach Balaban, made a great play to end the bottom of the third. Green Knights would love to play an insurance run. Every run is important in tournament play. Green Knights do lead 1-0. Balaban looks at a pitch on the outside corner. You know what? Sometimes you tip your cap to the pitcher, because that's not a pitch you want to swing at. Paints the black on the knees. Live to fight another day. That's what Balaban will do here. DeFrancesco takes a rip at that one. Hits the shoulder pad of the home plate umpire. Give him credit. He bounces back and picks that ball up. Good swing by Balaban there, but he finds himself in an 0-2 hole. DeFrancesco trying to get himself a punch out here with Notre Dame and runners on the corners and 1 out. And let me tell you something, Notre Dame just put on a steal The ball went through. Galino tried to get Ardito. And when the ball went through, you could hear Coach Kessler telling Corso to go. And he is able to score on the delayed double steal, for lack of a better terminology. So not only is Ardito safe, courtesy to stolen base, Corso winds up coming home, and the Green Knights now lead 2-0. Take that one. I don't know why Maloney would want to try to trade it out for a run there, but they didn't get either. Gave up the run and gave up the stolen base. Ardito's at second now. Balaban fights off a pitch, another one to the tennis courts back to the right. No, that's a pop-up infield. Gonzalez, 2 steps on the grass. Catches that one, and Balaban's retired, P6, but the Green Knights do get a run. Corso doubles. Moves to third on a fielder's choice, comes in on a double steal. And the Green Knights tack on an important insurance run, and they lead 2-0 going to the bottom of the fourth. We'll mention another proud GoGreenKnight.com sponsor. And if there's a gentleman who is not Notre Dame through and through, and there's thousands that are out there, but David Novicki is at the top of any list when it comes to that. And he leads New Haven Foot Surgeons and Milford Podiatry Associates. They specialize in laser surgery, children's foot disorders, sports medicine with an orthotic lab on premises. Offices throughout the New Haven area. They're led by 5 doctors. Of course, David Novicki, as well as his brother and Notre Dame graduate Robert Novicki. They're affiliated with the 3 major New Haven hospitals, and they accept most health insurance partners. Visit them online at milfordpodiatry.com. Whether it's Federico Insetti, Ivy League Landscaping, Longini Sausage, New Haven Foot Surgeons, Zingaro and Cretella Law Firm, Business Network Group, Caparuso Orthodontics, Curtis Ryan Honda, or Decorative and Traditional Painting. If you need one of their services that they specialize in, please look them up on GoGreenKnights.com under the Sponsors tab. You have all their contact information there. That's the sheet that I'm reading for you now. Give them a call. Mention you heard them advertise on GoGreenKnights.com. Without their financial support, just plain doesn't happen. Can't thank them enough. Maloney will come to bat here in the bottom of the fourth. Those out there in Twitter land are probably wondering where some updates are coming, and with me having to read the sponsors, I'm not able to get the tweets out. So I'm going to have to take a break in between this inning and at least get a Notre Dame score out there on @NotreDameWH. Of course, we do have a Facebook page, facebook.com/Notre Dame West Haven. Mr. Chidoba, if you are listening, or Mrs. LaMonica, if you are listening, and you wanted to throw a tweet out, go right ahead. Notre Dame 2, Maloney nothing. That was Kyle Hartenstein, their second baseman. Second pitch swinging, flies out to the left fielder Corso. 1 away here in the bottom of the fourth. If not, between this half inning, you will not hear my voice, and you're probably saying thank you in some ways. We'll get a quick tweet out so the people in Twitterland can know what's going on with ND Baseball here. Terzi twists one. Lands in the left-hand batter's box. Balaban with a nice slide step backhand. Of that errant pitch, Dallas DeFrancisco, Maloney's starting pitcher. Grounded out to the second baseman Paulson, his first at-bat. Looks at a fastball on the outside corner there. Terzi evens the count at 1-1. 4:15 Eastern Time Zone here on GoGreenKnights.com. Notre Dame 2, Maloney nothing. Steve Kirk, Mike Lano, Dylan Reynolds bringing you today's webcast. Terzi steps back off, wants another reset of signals from Balaban. DeFrancisco could have backed out too, not sure how that happened. Which order it happened in. Terzi on the same page, fires. Curveball, doesn't get it to twist like he'd like. Count now 2-1. Notre Dame's defense, Zullo at third, Ardito at short, Paulson at second, Wynn at first. 2-1 delivery. Line drive right at Paulson. That's a good swing on a good pitch. And Paulson, one step in, catches a line drive, chest high for the second out of the inning. 2 hard hit balls right at Paulson by DeFrancesco. But he's got an 0 for 2 in the book. That's why baseball can be just such a cruel game. Can't hit the ball hard in net. Hit it right at somebody. Doesn't go your way. Cleanup hitter, Mike Galino, their catcher. Walked and was erased on a fielder's choice. First time. Dives out of the way a curveball. Balaban wanted to get it on the inside corner. Home plate umpire didn't agree. Count will be 1-0. Tersey deals pitch 2. That's high. 2-0. Wonder when or if the hazy, hot, humid conditions, kind of the first day we've had like this in New England, might start to impact the pitchers. They've been pitching all year. Certainly pitch count not an issue, but haven't really performed in this kind of weather all year. Tersey's high there. Count falls behind 3-0. Right down the middle, pumps a strike. Galino taking all the way. Now at 3-1, I think he's going to be looking to swing a bat. He's trying to get on base any way he can. His Spartans trail 2-0. Tersey this time paints the inside corner. The first one was right over the middle. He was taken. This one, he painted the inside corner. So Galino looks at 2 strikes, evens the count at 3-2. Tersey with the payoff pitch. Ball 4 high. Couldn't find that same release point. Tersey knew that one right away. Kicked the dirt as soon as he let it go. Knew that one was going to be high. And Galino, a 2-out walk, will bring up first baseman Dan Berger. If you're just joining us, Notre Dame 2, Maloney nothing. Notre Dame got a single run in the first. Added a run in the fourth. Tersey skips one over to Wynn. Another nice backhand by Wynn. That ball's going to get away. Galino's going to get second at least, maybe. Can make his way to third. Wynn with the nice stop. Tersey from the stretch. Balaban has to reach outside for that one, so ball 1. Tersey was getting ahead of most of the hitters through innings 1 through 3. He's gotten behind a couple here in the fourth. He did get Hartenstein to fly out to left, and DeFrancesco to line out to Paulson. Off-speed pitch. Off-speed pitch is a little high. Balaban tries to throw down the Wynn behind Galino, but he gets in just safe down the first baseline. Tersey did pick a runner off earlier in the game. Coach Marcucci coming over to say hi. Texting, you know what? Mentioned he was texting me. I haven't touched my phone since I got here, so I apologize, Coach. Well hit ball to center. Garabedian on his horse goes back and makes the catch. So Tersey escapes the 2-out walk there. No harm, no foul. We are 4 innings complete. It is Notre Dame 2, Maloney nothing. Keep it right here on GoGreenKnights.com. I'll be back right after I send a tweet out on Notre Dame WH. Welcome back to GoGreenKnights.com. Steve Kirk, Mike Lano, Dylan Reynolds, Notre Dame freshman baseball and basketball player. Happen to coach his sister and my daughter with Dylan's father, Paul. We have practice later today, so I graciously said to bring Dylan along with me. Paulson, first pitch swinging. Nice play in the hole by Gonzalez. Retires Paulson 6-3, so one pitch, one out here in the top of the fifth. Dylan's manning the camera today. We realize it's not the perfect location. You're looking at a back of a rusted fence. But it was the best we can do. I'm sure Mr. Boyle is cringing if he actually is looking at this. DeFrancesco, first pitch swinging, is Archiolo. So he's thrown 2 pitches this inning. 2 hard outs. Grounder by Paulson to Gonzalez, and that one L8 to John Wader. Moved 2 steps to his right. Caught that one in. Griffin Garabedian, senior captain, heading to UConn. I think he's smart enough to probably look at a pitch here. You don't want to go up, 3 down on 3 pitches. Garabedian looks. Tries to put a bunt down the third base line. He does. Pretty nice play by the catcher, Galino. Slides, pops up, makes a throw to Berger. But Garabedian with his speed beat that one out. So now Zullo. Zullo grounded into a 4-6-3, but got Archiolo home in the first, flew out to right in the second. First pitch swinging, pop foul. Berger comes over by the line, past the Notre Dame dugout, trying to tiptoe the line to stay in to make a catch, falls behind him. So Zullo will get new life. Garabedian at first. Wonder if Coach Kessler might put him in motion, try to get him to second. Zullo looks at a ball on the outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Garabedian with a 3 or 4 step lead off first. Zullo fouls one back. Garabedian was going on that one. With his speed, I would think he might try to get him to second. Let Zullo try to bring him in. Any sort of insurance run you can get at this point is huge. Coming down the home stretch here. Notre Dame 2, Maloney nothing, round 2 of the 2013 CIAC Class L baseball tournament. Winner travels to Fitch in Groton Saturday at 2 o'clock for a quarterfinal game. DeFrancesco bounces one up about 55 feet there. Galino had no chance at that one. Gets to the bat stop. Garabedian, who was stealing on the first pitch, on the previous pitch, was not going on that pitch, but he moves to second on the wild pitch. So however you get there, it doesn't matter. So now 2 out. Runner on second for Zullo. Paulson, first pitch swinging, grounded out to Gonzalez. Archiolo, first pitch swinging, flew out to Wader. Garabedian bunted. And Zullo swings through that one for the 3rd out of the inning. So Notre Dame puts a runner in scoring position but can't convert. We'll go to the bottom of the 5th. Notre Dame 2, Maloney nothing. Gives us a chance to mention our last sponsor. And when I say last, I'm talking about alphabetical order only because we love them all. But that's Zingaro and Cretella law firm. Do bad things happen to good people? Things you can't prepare for? If that happens, what do you do? Who do you call? It's real easy. You call the law firm of Zingaro and Cretella. They're there for exactly those reasons. They specialize in civil litigation, family law, criminal defense. Attorneys Gene Zingaro, the Notre Dame class of 1986, Donald Cretella. They're going to guide you and help you make an informed and rational decision in a difficult time. You can visit them online at zandc-law.com. That's zandc-law.com. Zingaro and Cretella, a law firm you can trust. Our 8 sponsors for GoGreenKnights.com this year: the Business Network Group, Caparuso Orthodontics, Curtis Ryan Honda, Decorative and Traditional Painting, Federico Ansetti, Ivy League Landscaping, Longini Sausage, the New Haven Foot Surgeons, Milford Podiatry Associates, and Zingaro and Cretella. Webcasts like today don't happen without their support. Can't thank them enough. If you need any of their services, please go to GoGreenKnights.com. Go to sponsors, and all the links and all the contact information is there. Social media. Follow Notre Dame on Twitter, twitter.com/Notre Dame West Haven, facebook.com/Notre Dame West Haven. Twitter handle is @Notre Dame WH. First pitch swinging. A.J. Hendrickson, the third baseman. Hits it pretty hard, but it's a foul ball down the right field line. Bottom of the fifth here at Ed Zajac Field. Wind picking up. Looking out at the scoreboard. Looking at the United States flag and the green M. Maloney baseball flag. Right to left. Curveball in the hole. Ardito, the nice backhand toss. Throws to Wynn. Just up the first base line. Nice play in the hole. Pretty good throw. Just off its target by enough. Pulls Wynn off, and Hendrickson's going to beat that out for an infield single here to lead off the bottom of the fifth. Notre Dame's defense again. Zach Balaban behind the plate. Left to right in the infield is Zullo, Ardito, Paulson, and Wynn. Left to right in the outfield is Corso, Garabedian, Archiolo. Maloney is at the bottom 7, 8, 9 of their order. Number 2, John Wader, center fielder, is up. Tersey takes a look over. Got 9 outs in their season. They're going to give one up here to try to move Hendrickson to second. We'll see. He is swinging, and that ball's behind us. Another one on the tennis courts. That's number 3 for the tennis courts today. Not that anyone's counting besides myself. One of the first 3 H days of the year. Hazy, hot, and humid. But we'll take it. Fastball in the dirt. Gets away from Balaban. And that's going to move Hendrickson over to second, courtesy of the wild pitch. So Maloney, trailing 2-1, now has a runner at second with nobody out. Only their second base runner to reach second base. Lucas Olson did in the third, but he was stranded when leadoff batter Hector Gonzalez popped out to Balaban. First time they've gotten someone there with less than 2 outs. Now they're going to bunt, try to get it down. It's a foul ball. Try to get him third with less than 2 outs is Walter, but can't get that down, and now the count is evened up. Actually, Tersey's ahead, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Got to think the bunt is off now with 2 strikes. If you bunt a foul, it's the same as a strikeout. Tersey, that's a good piece of hitting there by Walter as he pounds one in the dirt to the right field side. Paulson 2 steps towards second base, makes the throw over to Wynn and gets him out. But a productive out by Walter as it moves Hendrickson over to third. Couldn't get the job done with a bunt, did the next best thing. Made sure he got Hendrickson to third by grounding out to the right side of the infield. So Maloney 90 feet away from inching within a run. Number 12, Mike Bonito, their left fielder. Steps to the plate. He struck out looking into third. First pitch swinging, pulls one down the third baseline. Coach Howie Hewitt with a nice play on the glove side without a glove. Bare hands it, fires it back into Tersey. Tersey takes a look over at Hendrickson. Paints the outside corner, so quickly he gets ahead of Bonito 0-2. Big out here for Tersey. Big at bat here for Bonito. Maloney trails 2-0, but they do have a runner at third and 1 out. Hard ground ball to Zullo. He's going to take a look at home, decides to go to first and get Bonito, who's going to get an RBI ground out 5-3. So that's going to score Hendrickson and pull the Spartans within a run and make the score 2-1. Zullo had a thought of going home, but Hendrickson going on contact had a pretty good break. Would have been a bang-bang play. You don't get him out. Now you're looking at a 2-1 game And a runner on first and 1 out, so Zulo took the sure thing. First pitch swinging here is Olsen. Ardito up in the dirt. Nice scoop by Wynn. Saves Ardito's bacon a little bit there, but Olsen retired first pitch swinging for the 3rd out of the inning. So we are through 5 innings complete. Maloney does get on the board. Hendrickson singles, moves to second on a wild pitch, moves to third on a ground out by Walter, and then Benito gets an RBI ground out to pull Maloney within 2-1. As the clock strikes 4:32, we're going to go to the 6th inning. Notre Dame with a 2-1 lead. Again, we'll just mention that it's a busy GoGreenKnights.com week for you. We brought you the baseball game, which covered parts of Monday and Tuesday. Notre Dame's 9-1 win over Platt Tech. We're here today. Thanks for tuning in wherever you are on GoGreenKnights.com. Whether you're sitting on your Florida deck, whether you're in California or Texas or in the Midwest, maybe sitting in your office, maybe you're driving home somewhere on the East Coast, whether you're Joe Marcucci in Medford, Mass., who was texting his brother Tom, our football coach and athletic director, the results and what was going on because I was ignoring my phone. So thank you for saving my bacon there a little bit. Appreciate that. But wherever you are, thanks for tuning in. Notre Dame with a 2-1 lead. Keep it right here. We've got 2 innings. I'm going to be honest with you, hopefully not thrilling baseball. Green Knights will look to get an insurance run here as we enter the top of the 6th. They got batters 4, 5, and 6. Mike Corso, Mike Levine, and Brandon Wynn will come to the plate against Dallas DeFrancesco for Maloney. Corso looks at a strike on the outside corner. DeFrancesco, wind up, off-speed pitch, pounded into the dirt. Gonzalez, low throw gets by the first baseman, Berger. He fielded that nicely and then made a quick throw, which one-hop Berger. He tried to go to the backhand, couldn't get it. Not only does he not get it, it gets by him, which means that Corso automatically moves to second, courtesy of the E6. So Notre Dame with a runner on second, nobody out. See if they go to small ball to try to get Corso to third with less than 2 outs, just like Maloney did in the bottom of the 5th. Maloney's thinking that he does turn. Levine does turn to bunt, but then he pulls it back. Berger, first baseman, certainly think he's bunting, and he's charging hard, trying to get a throw to third. The bunt doesn't get down, and Corso gets himself picked off a second by going too far. He's got himself in a pickle, and Gonzalez feeds it to Hendrickson, who runs him back to second base and tags him out. So the first pitch thrown to Levine was actually the better pitch to bunt. He took it back. This one was a high pitch, couldn't get it down. Corso thought he was going to make contact, got himself a little too far off second base. Just like that, Notre Dame's base runner, man on second, no outs, is erased. That's the old 2-6-5 pickoff. Corso, grounder to short, bobbled off the chest, picked back up by Gonzalez, and he gets the throw over to Berger just in time to erase Wynn 6-3. So Notre Dame now 2 outs, nobody on for Brandon Wynn. Win on the day is 0 for 1, but he's reached twice. Reached on an error, walked, and then erased on a 6-4 force play in the 4th. Reached on an error in the 2nd, looks at a strike for the first pitch here. So Notre Dame had a threat going, courtesy of the error by Gonzalez. That was his 2nd error of the game. Levine couldn't get a bunt down. Go to the off-speed pitch outside. Of course, ND Nation is not limited to just alums across the country. It could be students tuning in from anywhere, parents, maybe at work, trying to get a little bit of work done before they head home for the day. Checking in Notre Dame on GoGreenKnights.com. Whoever you are, wherever you are, thanks for tuning in. Wynn behind 0-2. Hits one pretty good to right center. That's not going to be caught by either Olsen or Waiter. Wynn is going to try to chug to 3. He rounds second. He's not going to get there. He's going to get there without a throw. So Wynn, with a good swing, deposited one, hops the fence in right center. That was a good poke. And Wynn comes into third with a stand-up triple. Corso's pickoff there hurts a little bit more. That certainly would have scored him and given Notre Dame a 3-1 lead, but they can get that 3-1 lead. Freshman Zach Ardito had the game-winning hit yesterday over Platte Tech. Granted, it was the 4th inning, but it was a 1-1 game. 2 outs, laced a single to right center. That scored Corso. Notre Dame went on to score 7 more in a 9-1 win. Looks at a curveball outside here. Of course, Ardito, a freshman, stepped into the lineup against Xavier about 3/4 through the season. Ball high, 2-0. 2-0, 3-1 are counts you want to hit in. Groove your pitch. Take a good rip at it. Ardito looks at one on the outside corner. DeFrancesco pulls back to within 2-1. Brandon Wynn on third, tripled with 2 outs. Ardito trying to bring him home. Looks at a ball outside. Galino and DeFrancesco wanted one. The man wearing a light blue shirt with the chest protector and mask didn't agree. So Ardito ahead, 3-1. Swings one, drives it to right field. And Olsen makes a run at it and pulls it in. Pretty good hit, pretty good defensive play by Olsen. Notre Dame will strand Wynn at third. We will go to the bottom of the 6th. Notre Dame 2, Maloney nothing. Keep it right here on GoGreenKnights.com. Welcome back to GoGreenKnights.com. Steve Kirk, Mike Lano, Dylan Reynolds, bringing you today's CIAC Class L baseball tournament 2nd round game. Notre Dame 2, Maloney 1. Green Knights have changed pitchers. Troy Tersey, a very effective 5 innings. Gave up only 1 run, and that was an RBI ground out in the bottom of the 5th. The Green Knights going to senior Parker Barnell. Barnell came in and threw the 7th inning of yesterday's game. Again, which was a 2-day affair. Notre Dame was tied 1-1 in the 3rd with Platte Tech with Greg Zulu on the mound. Came back Wednesday. Johnny Amendola pitched innings 4, 5, and 6. Got the win in relief. Barnell pitched the 7th. I wonder if Amendola might be in line for an 7th inning save here. Barnell's got the 6th inning here. Notre Dame's defense, other than that, will remain the same. We'll go over that in a second, but again, just to mention our sponsors who make GoGreenKnights.com happen. The Business Network Group, Caparuso Orthodontics, Curtis Ryan Honda, Decorative and Traditional Painting, Federico Insetti, Ivy League Landscaping, Longini Sausage, the New Haven Foot Surgeons / Milford Podiatry Associates, and Zingaro and Cretella. Without any of their financial support, you wouldn't be where you are right now, listening to yours truly bring you Notre Dame playoff baseball. CIAC Class L 2013 tournament 2nd round action here from Ed Zajac Field on the campus of Maloney High School. It's crunch time as we enter the bottom of the 6th. Parker Barnell in for Troy Tersey. He will face the top of the Maloney lineup. Hector Gonzalez, Kyle Hartenstein, Dallas DeFrancesco. If anyone gets on, that would be Mike Galino. Barnell gets ahead of Gonzalez with a strike right down the middle. Might be a case here where head coach Kessler didn't want the top of the lineup a 3rd chance at Tersey. Barnell comes in. Second pitch swinging, line drive, but Arciolo moves over about 3 steps and pulls that one in. Pretty good swing by Gonzalez, but Arciolo well played. Call that F7 if you're scoring at home. If you wanted to say L7, I would not disagree. Barnell 2 pitches, got an out here. Kyle Hartenstein struck out in the first, flew out to Mike Corso in left in the 4th. Notre Dame's defense, Zulo, Ardito, Paulson, and Wynn left to right in the infield. First pitch outside. Barnell to Zach Balaban. Defensive outfield remains the same. Mike Corso, Griffin Garabedian, and Drew Arciolo. Lefty Hartenstein looks at the 1-0 pitch. Fouls it off. Hit it over the backstop, over the head of all of our fans up here on the railroad ties sitting watching this game. Notre Dame 2, Maloney 1, bottom 6 here in Meriden. Barnell, 1-1 pitch, curveball, just a bit high. You can tell Balaban wanted that one. I think Barnell did too. Senior right-hander Barnell. Toes back on the rubber. Delivers. Paints the outside corner. Pretty good swing there by Hartenstein, but it's fouled off over the Maloney dugout. Count is now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Hartenstein lines one to center, but Garabedian may be back a half a step. Pretty much in his tracks. Call that L8. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th for Maloney. I think this is the type of game you expect in the second round of the state tournament between two pretty tradition-rich programs, 2 great leagues in the CCC and the SCC going head-to-head. Both teams actually were 5th records-wise in their respective conferences, so an evenly matched game, and you've got that here today. Barnell wanted that one, didn't get it. So Dallas DeFrancesco, Maloney's starting pitcher, grounded out to the second baseman Paulson and then lined out to Paulson in his 2 at-bats. This one's a little farther outside, so Barnell falls behind 2-0. Same hitter's pitch that we talked about with Notre Dame batting before. 2-0 count. One hopper right to Zulo. Hop step over to Wynn. Hangs on to the base. 3 up, 3 down for Barnell. Fly out to right, a line out to center, and a 5-3 ground ball retires the side for Maloney. We'll be back with the 7th inning. Fast-moving game as the clock strikes 4:44. But keep it tuned right here. Notre Dame 2, Maloney 1. We head to the 7th inning. Notre Dame playoff baseball on GoGreenKnights.com. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to GoGreenKnights.com. Steve Kirk, Mike Lano, Dylan Reynolds bringing you today's action. 7th inning. It's been a great one here on GoGreenKnights.com. Notre Dame and Maloney, 2nd round of the state tournament. Notre Dame has a pinch hitter up. That is number 4, Lino Bruno, batting for Balaban. Here to lead off the 7th. He designated hitter the last couple games. Fouled one off, then looked at another strike. This one just inside. So DeFrancesco going the distance for Maloney. He's ahead 1-2 on Bruno. Pinch hitting for Balaban to lead off the 7th for Notre Dame. Bruno looks at a curveball in the dirt there. Evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Bruno looks. Got a call, 3rd strike. 1 out here in the 7th. Notre Dame will send another pinch hitter up, and that's Evan Lumpinski. Had a pinch hitting appearance yesterday. Actually wound up with a double right over the 3rd base bag. Green Knights would love a repeat of that here. 1 out here in the top of the 7th. Looks at a fastball on the knees from DeFrancesco. DeFrancesco from the windup. Lumpinski waits on that curveball. Drops it right in front of Mike Bonito. So a 1-out single by Lumpinski. Wonder if you got a pinch runner coming in for Lumpinski here. But that's going to turn the lineup over and bring up Drew Archiolo. He doubled and scored in the 1st. Had a sac bunt in the 3rd and then lined out to center field. So Paulson is actually going to come in to pinch run. He was in the lineup to begin with as the 2nd baseman. So Lumpinski gets the single. Paulson, who's playing second base, and will go back out there for the bottom of the 7th. He comes back in to run. 1-out single by Lumpinski. Archiolo. Curveball, nice stop by Galino. As a former catcher, I appreciate that. That keeps Paulson from moving to 2nd. But Archiolo does get ahead in the count, 1-0. Archiolo hits one to left, and that's over the left fielder's head. Hits the fence. Bonito gets it in to Gonzalez, but Archiolo turns on one and hits the fence about 1/3 of the way up down the left field line. So that's the 2nd double of the game for Archiolo. It's going to move Paulson to 3rd. So the Green Knights with a golden opportunity with co-captains Griffin Garabedian and Greg Zullo coming up to get an insurance run here. And head coach Howie Hewitt is going to make a pitching change. We'll keep it right here on GoGreenKnights.com. It looks like DeFrancesco's moving to 3rd. Going to make some notes here. Looks like the 3rd baseman, Hendrickson, is moving to left, and it looks like Bonito, the left fielder who just played that off the wall, is coming in to pitch. So if you're scoring at home, DeFrancesco to 3rd, Hendrickson to left, Bonito, the left fielder, in to pitch. Got Lou Kessler right in front of us here, giving some instructions to Paulson and Archiolo on the mound. You got Garabedian and Zullo coming up. If you're here on GoGreenKnights.com, wherever you might be, thanks for tuning in. Just to set the scene for you at 4:50 East Coast time. Notre Dame 2, Maloney 1. Notre Dame's got runners on 2nd and 3rd. Archiolo doubled with 1 out. He moved Paulson to 3rd. Paulson was pinch running for Evan Lumpinski, who with a 1-out single got Green Knights going this inning. And it sets the table for Griffin Garabedian, Notre Dame's speedy center fielder, co-captain. Mike Bonito comes in to pitch. Lefty, tall guy. So the Green Knights would love an insurance runner too here. And you've got the guys up that you want to have up. You got your two senior co-captains, Garabedian and Zulo. Winner of this game moves on to Saturday's quarterfinal round. That'll be Saturday, June 1st. Winner is going to travel down to Groton and play Fitch High School, the 3 seed out of the ECC. They advanced to the quarterfinal round with wins over Watertown and Ram the last 2 days. They're sitting home today and tomorrow, getting some work in, waiting the winner of this one coming in. Wouldn't surprise me if there's someone from Fitch here doing a little scouting. Maloney's going to bring their infield in. They have to. They only got 3 outs left as we are in the 7th. Garabedian steps to the plate, lefty on lefty. Bonito delivers. Line drive, single to left. That's going to score Paulson. Archiolo is coming home. The throw is going to be cut off, not in time. And first pitch swing, and Garabedian delivers Paulson and Archiolo 2 huge runs, and the Green Knights now lead 4-1. Well, you had exactly who you wanted to have up. And I bet you those who are real ND diehards might have been thinking squeeze there. I was thinking it myself. If you remember 2 years ago, Garabedian, a sophomore, laid down a perfect squeeze to score Christian Bagnoli to give Notre Dame a 2-1 win over Farmington up at Muzzy Field. Infield in that scenario, Kessler led his senior swing, and he got the job done with a line drive, 2 RBI single. And Notre Dame now leads 4-1. The other reason why I didn't want to say it is because I know there's a lot of people listening right around me, and who knows where the words may go and travel. But Archiolo scores, and so does Paulson. Notre Dame with 2 huge insurance runs. Zulo swings left field. That's going to fall in front of DeFrancesco. Actually, fronts in front of Hendrickson. My mistake. Again, we had those defensive changes, but now Garabedian moves to second. Zulo will be on first, and Mike Corso. Corso doubled and scored in the 4th. Reached on an E6 and then was picked off in the 6th. And Coach Howie Hewitt doesn't like what he sees, and he's going to make another change. And he's going to bring in Dan Berger. Got arrows going all over the place here. So it looks like Berger's going to come in to pitch now. And Bonito is going to move to first base. Well, when you're down to your last 3 outs and you want to keep the deficit at 3, you got to do whatever you can do. Notre Dame's also going to have a pinch runner at first. Zulo, still a little bit of a tender hamstring. He's come back. He's worked hard to get back in, but if Notre Dame can hang on, he's your starting pitcher Saturday. If you hear behind me a little pop going, you do hear Johnny Amendola behind us starting to get warmed up. And I had mentioned that situation where if you had a 7th inning save a little bit earlier, it wouldn't surprise me to see Amendola. And I'd see him warming up behind me, so I got to think he's going to be coming into the game to try to get the last 3 outs. Troy Tersey did an awesome job in this game through 5 innings. Gave up 1 run. Parker Bardell came in to pitch the 6th. 3 up, 3 down, which was the top of the order, which was actually might have been the key 3 outs of this game. Notre Dame was nursing a 2-1 lead. Maloney had their first and arguably best 3 hitters up at the top of the lineup. Coach Kessler went to Barnell. Didn't want those guys to see Tersey a 3rd time. Parnell got the job done. Now the Green Knights tack on 2 huge insurance runs. Still have 2 runners on here in the top of the 7th. And Amendola is warming up behind me. He's throwing, you know what? Now he's throwing with Barnell, who might just want to stay loose. I think it's a scenario where if the Green Knights maybe tack on 2, 3, 4 more runs, you just run Barnell back out there. If it stays 4-1, maybe it's a situation where Amendola comes in with the save situation. We'll see how that unfolds here. Again, runners on first and second. Garabedian's on second. Notre Dame pitch runner on first. Corso, first pitch swing, and flies it to center. Underneath it is Waiter. Makes a strong throw into Gonzalez, and Garabedian's going to have to hold. Fly out to center. That's going to bring up Mike Levine, designated hitter. Still haven't seen who's running at first. Hasn't turned around to give me his number. Not that he needs to. So again, Dan Berger is now in pitching for Maloney, third pitcher this inning. Paints the outside corner as Levine takes strike one. Levine on the day. 0 for 3, ground out to short, fly out to right. Back to the pitcher. This one, soft roller. Third baseman comes over, makes the play. That's DeFrancesco, the starting pitcher. Does a nice job, fires over to Benito and retires Levine 5-3, but not before the Green Knights tack on 2 huge insurance runs. 4 hits. Lempinski started with a single. Archiolo then doubled. Then Garabedian with a huge 2 RBI line drive to left, which plated the 2 runs. Zulu had another single, but the Green Knights couldn't get any more after that, as Corso and Levine made the last 2 outs. But the Green Knights offense gets in gear. Gets 2 runs in the top of the 7th, and we're going to head to the bottom of the 7th with Notre Dame 3 outs away from a quarterfinal appearance against Fitch. And it is Parker Barnell back out on the mound. Amendola was throwing. I'm sure he's loose and ready to go if need be. And we will keep it right here on GoGreenKnights.com. Steve Kirk, Mike Lano, Dylan Reynolds, man in the camera in front of us. And again, haven't apologized in a while. We will apologize for the camera setup. You're looking at the back of a rusty fence. I realize that. But there's no press box here, no elevation. We have to be plugged into the only electrical outlet right here behind home plate, so we did the best we could. I'm sure Mr. Boyle, if he saw it and has seen it, he's probably cringing. Again, we figured bad video was better than no video. I'm surprised I haven't gotten a text from Mr. Boyle yet to tell me whether that's a good philosophy or bad, but it's the best we can do. And we are here bringing you GoGreenKnights.com baseball action wherever you are. Thanks for tuning in as we head here to the bottom of the 7th. Notre Dame defensively with the same lineup. Zulo, Ardito, Paulson, and Nguyen left to right in the infield. Outfield is Corso, Garabedian, and Archiolo left to right. Zach Balaban calling the pitches. Actually, I want to say Notre Dame has a new catcher in. They do have a new catcher. That's number 12, Aiden Burton. Might have been the pitch runner earlier. But Barnell, first pitch strike, second pitch ball here in the bottom of the 7th. Goes back to the curveball just outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Up for Maloney is their number 4 hitter. They do have the meat of their order. Michaelino, Dan Berger, and A.J. Hendrickson. 4, 5, and 6 for Maloney. Their last at bat unless they can plate 3 or more runs. Second pitch swinging. That's a pretty good ball. Griffin Garabedian on his horse. Can't get to it up against the fence. It's going to be a lead-off double. Actually, as Ryan, it looks like Ryan Hartenstein was pinch hitting there, number 10. Nothing is ever easy when it comes to closing out playoff baseball, so Maloney chasing 3, gets a leadoff double by Ryan Hartenstein. Junior pinch hit for Mike Galino. Now, number 24, Dan Berger will bat. Barnell gets ahead 0-1. 5 o'clock on the dot, Eastern time. 2 o'clock if you're out in California, maybe a late lunch. Barnell, he goes for the lead runner. Now they've got to pickle Hartenstein and Zulo. And they can't get the out. Barnell saw Hartenstein get off. Zulo ran him back, a late throw to Paulson, but Hartenstein's able to get in. So Barnell, if you're watching like I am, quite honestly probably should have just taken the out at first, let go Hartenstein get to third, Instead, the tie-in run now comes to the plate in third baseman A.J. Hendrickson. Actually, I think he moved to left field late in the game. But Maloney with the tie-in run now at the plate, 4-1, bottom 7. Barnell paints the outside corner, gets ahead 0-1. Ryan Hartenstein pinch hit, double, led off the 7th. Berger back to the mound. Notre Dame couldn't get the out in the pickle. Fly ball right field, Arciolo in, makes the catch. No tag situation, gets the ball into Ardito. So Hendrickson flies out to right for that all-important first out of the inning. That'll bring up center fielder number 2, John Walter. But Maloney has given themselves life. 2 runners on, tie and run at the plate. Given that you're down 3, that's pretty much all you can ask for is a chance. And the Spartans, the number 6 seed, have a chance here in the bottom of the 7th, their home game. Barnell to the mound, first pitch swinging. Kind of surprised at that. 4th one headed to the tennis courts behind us. Barnell does get ahead, 0-1. All the Notre Dame players up on the fence in the dugout. Same for Maloney. What you would expect. Trying to get a bunt down to get everyone in. Barnell tries to make a throw, can't make a throw. Does make a throw, but it's offline. And a bunt base hit is going to load the bases. Gutsy call there by Maloney, but that's a well-placed bunt. Zullo couldn't make an effort on it. Barnell did, and his throw was offline. And Walter's going to reach safely, so now Maloney has the winning run at the plate. And we'll keep it right here as Notre Dame is bringing in Amendola, who was warming up behind us. They let Barnell start the inning. But now Amendola, who got the win yesterday pitching 3 innings, is going to be asked to come in here and get the final 2 outs and preserve a 4-1 Notre Dame win. If you wanted tense, white knuckler, seat-of-your-pants baseball, now you've got it as we've reached the bottom of the 7th here on GoGreenKnights.com. Notre Dame 4, Maloney 1. Just to set the scene for you here at Ed Zajac Field. Wind blowing still right to left as we look out at the scoreboard. Notre Dame single runs in the 1st and 4th, led 2-0. Maloney got back with a single run in the 5th before Notre Dame added on what now are 2 huge insurance runs courtesy of Griffin Garabedian. RBI single in the top of the 7th. Notre Dame leads 4-1, but Maloney has loaded the bases. Ryan Hartenstein's on 3rd. Dan Berger is on 2nd. Walter is on 1st. Hartenstein doubled to lead off the inning. Berger hit one back to Barnell. Instead of getting the out at first, he tried to get the lead runner. Hartenstein was able to get back in under the throw in the pickle, which left runners at 1st and 2nd. Hendrickson then flew out to right. John Walter then laid down a bunt single to load the bases. Mike Benito came in to pitch a little bit, wound up at first base. Lefty swinging bat is going to come in, and he represents the winning run. Again, GoGreenKnights.com does not happen without all of our sponsors. The Business Network Group, Caparuso Orthodontics, Curtis Ryan Honda, Decorative and Traditional Painting by DKM, Federico and Seti, Ivy League Landscaping, Longini Sausage, New Haven Foot Surgeons, and Zingaro and Cretella. So that's not a timely plug for all of our sponsors as we are here in the bottom of the 7th. And wherever you are in ND Nation land, stomach's probably turning a little bit. Green Knights trying to preserve this 4-1 lead. Maloney. Tyne runs at first. Winning run is at the plate. Amendola pitches. First pitch fastball. Benito took a home run swing there. Swung through it. Amendola gets ahead 0-1. Amendola from the windup. Fastball high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Dylan Reynolds, Mike Lano, Steve Kirk, glad to bring this one to you. Green Knights trying to hold on. Amendola paints the outside corner. No, he doesn't. Notre Dame faithful wanted that one, but it's a ball. 2 balls, 1 strike. That was a pretty good pitch. Amendola right in the middle of the plate. Benito takes a good hearty lick, but fouls it off just back. So it evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Runners on every base for Maloney. Amendola dials it up. Good afternoon, good night there for Benito. Blows him away with as hard a fastball as been seen all day. Green Knights now 1 out away from advancing to Saturday's quarterfinal round as Amendola strikes out Benito. 2 outs, but again, winning run at the plate for Maloney. And that's in the bat of Lucas Olson. Singled and stole second in the third, grounded out to short in the 5th. Maloney's fates rest in his hands. Amendola, 1-0 pitch. Finds the middle of the plate. Something tells me Olson's taken there. Taking a strike, even just count at 1-1. Maloney. Hartenstein on third. Berger on second. Walter on first. Olson at the plate. Amendola with the delivery. Swings through it. And Amendola is ahead. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Amendola wants a new baseball from home plate umpire. Again, Notre Dame defense. Aiden Burton in the catch. Zullo at third. Ardino at short. Paulson at second. Wynn at first. Corso, Garabedian, Archiolo playing a no doubles defense deep at each position. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 3 men on. Bottom 7, Notre Dame 4, Maloney 1. Strike 3 called. Notre Dame wins 4-1. They play Saturday against Fitch in the Class L quarterfinals. Amendola comes into a bases loaded situation. He's the first one in line, and he is going to lead the way. He gets a win yesterday, and he comes in and gets a key save today. Great pitching effort by Terzi. Barnell does a great job in the 6th, and then gets us in a little bit of trouble, but Amendola comes in and shuts the door in the 7th. And Notre Dame, who led 2-1, tacked on 2 important insurance runs. Maloney leaves the bases loaded in the 7th. Amendola gets Olson to strike out looking, and Notre Dame emerges victorious, live to see another day, survive and advance. They beat Maloney 4-1. We're going to do some quick compilation of stats here. Give our sponsors one more plug. We'll set up the weekend for you. We'll get you a line score. But Notre Dame has won here in Maloney. They will play on Saturday against Fitch at 2 o'clock in the quarterfinals of the Class L tournament. Notre Dame 4, Maloney 1. Stay right with us. We'll wrap it up here. But thanks for tuning in. Notre Dame Baseball. GoGreenKnights.com. All right, if you're still with us on GoGreenKnights.com, we just had to do some quick tallying. Couldn't throw any commercials out at you because we went with a simple setup here, but Notre Dame emerges victorious today, travels to Maloney, comes away with a second round 4-1 win. Tidy effort, too. Game started at 3:30. It was over at 5:10. That's the way baseball is supposed to be played. But again, GoGreenKnights.com doesn't happen without the support of all of our sponsors, from the Business Network Group and Jeff Grandy, from Caparuso Orthodontics and Dr. Phil Caparuso, from Curtis Ryan Honda, from Decorative and Traditional Painting. That's Ed D. Marseille at Curtis Ryan Honda, by the way. Donald Martone, Notre Dame's own Donald Martone with Decorative and Traditional Painting. Michael Federico at Federico and Setti. And Justin Grandy at Ivy League Landscaping. And Mr. Longini from Longini Sausage. David Novicki from the New Haven Foot Surgeons, and Donald Cretella from Zingaro and Cretella. So the Green Knights emerge victorious here today, get a second round win on the road. They've now played 3 straight days of baseball. They get a day off tomorrow. Well, they're going to practice. They're not going to play a game. But then they're going to be on the road Saturday, 2 o'clock at Fitch in the quarterfinals of the Class L tournament. Notre Dame today had 4 runs, 9 hits, and no errors. Maloney had 1 run on 4 hits. They did make a couple of errors. Winning pitcher was Troy Tersey. Parker Barnell came in to pitch the 6th. Got himself into a little pickle in the 8th, and then Johnny Amendola comes in, gets the job done. 2 strikeouts with the bases loaded to get himself a save and move Notre Dame on to the quarterfinal round. Notre Dame scored single runs in the first. Archiolo led off with a double, then scored on a Greg Zullo double play. Corso then, basically on a double steal, scored in the 4th to give Notre Dame a 2-0 lead. Corso led off with a double, moved to 3rd. Ardito reached on a fielder's choice. He then stole 2nd. Catcher Mike Galino decided to throw through. Corso got home on that one. And then Notre Dame added 2 runs in the 7th. Inning started with a Lino Bruno strikeout, but then Evan Lempinski singled. Wes Paulson ran for him. Drew Archiolo then hit a double off the left field fence, 2nd and 3rd, nobody out. If you were thinking suicide squeeze bunt to maybe give Notre Dame a 3-1 lead, Kessler didn't call that play that time, and Griffin Garabedian, who delivered that suicide squeeze to give Notre Dame their state championship 2 years ago, had a line drive single, which scored both Archiolo and Paulson to give Notre Dame a 4-1 lead. Maloney made it interesting in the 7th, though. A double by Ryan Hartenstein led off the inning, then a fielder's choice by Berger made runners at 1st and 2nd. After A.J. Hendrickson flew out to right, John Walter reached on a bunt base hit to load the bases, bringing the winning run to the plate. Coach Kessler went to Johnny Amendola. He struck out Benito, got Luke and Olson looking, and Notre Dame moved on 4-1. Actually joining us right now is Griffin Garabedian. Just a few words before you head back to the bus. Thanks for joining us, Griff. Coming into today, you're coming on the road. You want to get off to a lead early. You wind up with 1 run in the 1st, and that kind of set the tone a little bit to take the ease off of everybody.
It did. It's always important to come get a run right off the bat. Once we get that first run, I think it's guaranteed we will win.
I like that. I like that attitude. But now I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm sitting here. They make a pitch and change. We got runners on 2nd and 3rd.
Yeah.
Had a pretty big suicide squeeze a couple of years ago.
Yep.
Were you thinking Coach Kess might call that play? And what was he talking to you about? And you wind up with a first pitch line drive single. So it worked out even better because you got 2 runs. But were you thinking that?
Actually, before Coach Kess came up to me and he was like, look down after the first pitch. If not, swing away. But if the first pitch was a ball, we probably would have did a suicide squeeze. Okay.
But you got a strike, and you laced the line drive single, scoring 2 runs, and that worked out better.
Yep.
All right. What are you thinking in the bottom of the 7th? They get a little rally, bases loaded, winner run to the plate. Were you a little nervous there? I mean, you got to have confidence in your guys getting those last outs.
Oh, just a little nervous. Just make sure no doubles. No doubles.
I mentioned that no doubles defense. Of course, they bring in Amendola, and he gets 2 strikeouts. What's the feeling when he shuts the door and you're running in from center field?
He's been lights out all season, so it's a great feeling.
Let's talk about this team a little bit. And you guys are getting on the bus, so I won't keep you here too long. But you certainly didn't have the senior season you'd want to have, just from playing in terms of getting hurt and not playing that much.
Yeah.
But what was it like on the sidelines? How tough was it? And how important is it? And how great does it feel to be back and playing and contributing in the playoff time?
It's tough sitting there and watching, but we did a great job all season to get here. So being back, you just want to put your best effort in and do your best. So.
In a senior coming up, you got at least 1 more game. You got a pretty busy Saturday. Baseball game in the afternoon and graduation liturgy at night. So, but I'm sure you wouldn't want to have it any other way.
No.